My name is Dave McIntosh. As you can already tell, I am not normally a YouTuber. I'm a wedding and portrait photographer and videographer based in Baltimore. And in 2020, I have added live streaming to my services. I purchased the ATEM Mini Pro. I absolutely love it. The problem that I have is when I'm out on site at the wedding venues, they invariably have really poor internet quality. And so I need to generate my own signal when I'm out on site. I looked at the existing solutions that are out there normally for live streaming, like the LiveView Solo and the Teradek solutions like the Teradek Go. They look fantastic, but they take an HDMI or SDI input, which is a problem with the ATEM Mini Pro, because if I give it my HDMI input, then I lose my multi-view, and I want to see what the view looks like before I cut to it. Did quite a bit of research online, ended up speaking to Tim Swazey at West Networks. Tim turned me on to the Peplink Max Transit Duo. It's a portable device, really small. It's network based. It's a router, and so whatever you feed into it, it'll put out over Ethernet. It'll accept wired Ethernet. It will accept 802.11, the popular bands, the 2.4 and the 5 gigahertz bands. But it also has built into it two 4G modems. I call them modems. I'm old school, I guess. But two 4G LTE transmitters, which I made one with Verizon and one with AT&T to give me some diversity. And it works like a champ. So I just wanted to introduce it. Now let me show it to you. This should look familiar to you. This is the ATEM Mini Pro with multi-view. This is my management laptop. It's an old MacBook Air. And I've got it all connected together with a Netgear switch. Everything's plugged into that. And this is the Peplink Max Transit Duo. I've got my password covered up for you, but on this is the side view. It's got 6 antennas on the back. 2 are for 802.11, and there's 2 antennas for each of the 2 radios, the 4G radios that are in it. And if you look at the front of it, you can power the device by AC power, which is how I've got it. You can also power it by a 12-volt battery. What I'm going to do is show you how I administer the system. First, I'm going to log into the administrative console, just using a web browser. I come into the PepWave dashboard, which all my ports are right now disabled, but it's very, very easy to change that. I'll show it to you. And I also wanted to show you the SpeedFusion, which is the bonding service. There's nothing bonded right now. It's red. But in order to use an interface, all you have to do is drag it up and drop it. It's simply that easy. This is going to start up my Wi-Fi connection. Of course, I've connected to this Wi-Fi network before. If I didn't, I would click on wireless networks and I would find it and then authenticate to it. In this case, I'm going to start up my AT&T and my Verizon 4G services. Just drag them up, put them in priority. If I wanted to have them on standby, that would be priority 2. This is my Wi-Fi connection. And they're going through its process to obtain an IP address. Now the bonding service will be starting up, creating the tunnels. What's going on is there's a server on the other end that's communicating with the that's creating these tunnels and bonding the bandwidth all together. In my case, I basically just wanted all the bandwidth to be bonded together. So I'm going to put it back in priority, and we'd use SpeedFusion to get as much bandwidth as possible. When I was out on site streaming a wedding this past weekend, I had no Wi-Fi, I had no wired internet. simply just the AT&T and the Verizon. According to speed test, I had 35 meg down and 30 up on my connection. So I was streaming using medium. I probably could have gone higher, but I was afraid to. I was using the medium quality on the ATEM Mini Pro. So that's pretty much all there is to it. There's all kinds of features in it. You can have spare SIMs, so standby SIMs, if you will. So it accepts up to 4 SIMs in the box. This is not by any means any type of a review or an exhaustive feature list of the box. There's a lot of things that you can do with this PepWave, but I just wanted to show you how I use it. It's a great solution for the ATEM Mini Pro. And if you have any questions, I'm going to put in the comments the information for Tim down at West Networks. And he's probably the best person to contact to ask any questions and see if it's a good fit for you. To learn more information about the Peplink Max Transit Duo, you can go to the West page. Go under Catalog, Peplink Products, and then you want the Max series. And then you want multiple cellular. And then underneath that, you'll scroll down to page 2 at the bottom of the screen. And then you'll see the Max Transit Duos. My unit was $999. The Speed Fusion is free for 90 days. I think it's up to 100 gig. And then after that, you do have to pay, but it's very cost effective. Of course, then you have to pay for the AT&T and the Verizon cellular service as well. But altogether, it's a fantastic solution, cost effective, and it does the trick.